Okay, folks, here's part 2 of that interview. Unfortunately, we didn't have enough memory space on the other camera. So here we go again. And we're with Ram again. Ram, again, let me rephrase that question. What was the most surprising thing that you learned from your last 2 weeks here in America?
It's the consciousness of people about global citizenship. And when you say global citizenship, it's really becoming part of the concerns of other people around the world. So I realized that it just doesn't come from very passionate or very expressive people like myself. It could come from anyone. Even in my own host family, they are as hospitable as Filipinos are. They are as generous. They want love. They want hope. They want joy. And that is something that really surprised me because it gives me hope. I mean, as an educator, it makes me see the world as beautiful and more wonderful, because if everybody is very concerned about this, then we can make this world a better place.
Wow, good for you. What can you tell the audience a little bit? You said you were born in Ligan, which is a neighboring city.
Yes.
What was your educational background? Where did you go to college?
I went to MSU IIT, that's Mindanao State University, Iligan Institute of Technology. I wanted to be a lawyer at first because my dad is a judge.
Okay.
We're a family of lawyers. My grandfather was a lawyer. My uncle was a lawyer. My grandfather created the first law firm in Cagayan de Oro, according to them. And so I wanted to be a lawyer. So I took up AB Political Science. And then I shifted to history because they said to be a great lawyer is to be a great researcher. Then I did. I went to law school. I studied for like 2 years and a half. I met my husband there.
Where'd you go to law school?
MSU IIT still.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yes. And then...
Did you finish your degree?
No, unfortunately not, because I met my husband, fell in love, and we dropped out of law school. And
together?
Together. That's the most amazing thing. And because they are a family of educators, that's when I fell in love with education.
Wow.
Yeah.
So after you dropped out of law school,
I took up my master's in human resource management. I took up it's not really I took up 18 units in education. I took the test, the licensure examination, and I took up public administration, doctorate in public administration at CNU, Cebu Normal University. And then I went into research, I went into training, I became a professor, so many things in education.
Wow. And then so you did that. So did you teach in the high school for a while before, like?
Yeah, I teach in elementary, teach in preschool, teach in high school, teach in college, teach in postgraduate courses. Really a vast.
How many years of this?
10 years in total before I founded my own school.
And then you said, I'm gonna start my own school.
Yeah. Yes.
How did you fund that?
Hard work.
Well, I mean, like, you had investors and
we had
subsidies
money.
and
No. My husband and I saved. We went into a lot of businesses other than teaching, and we had money, and we created our own school.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really incredible.
Yeah.
And then you met the mayor. You met Mayor. We met Mayor Moreno a couple of years ago. He's a fascinating man.
Yes.
Had you known him over the years, or how did you meet him?
Oh yeah, I knew him way back then when he was still governor of Misamis Oriental, because he was good, and I think he was a friend of my dad's. Something like that, but we weren't really very close. And then finally, when he became mayor of Cagayan de Oro City, he revitalized the local school board. He copied it after Robredo because that was very successful. And so he said, well, practically the Special Education Fund can only be allotted or it only takes the mayor and the treasurer of the local government to allocate that fund. But because he wanted to revitalize it, he wanted to involve the entire community, give them a sense of ownership of the things that are happening in the city. Then he made it into a 15-team board.
Wow.
Yeah, and that included private sectors. We have representatives from the Cagayan de Oro Association of Private Elementary Schools, which I represented. And then we have from secondary schools, we have from all religious denominations, we have from the businessmen, we have from universities, practically from the government, and many others. So that's a total of 15 people.
What are the next couple of important initiatives that the school board is going to be taking on in the next year or so?
Well, still building schools.
Okay.
And that has been our motto, building schools. In fact, we have built about, if I don't know, you have to check this, Joe, but I think 400 plus classrooms.
That's what I've heard, yeah?
Yeah, in less than 2 years. That's unbelievable.
So building schools, what else, what's important on your plate as a school board member?
Well, this one, our museum, I think the local school board would like to take a punch on that. And then we have many other things. I think trainings, support for scholarship, though I know that the scholarship program has like a special mechanism where it can be placed under the local school board. And I don't know, Mayor Oscar Moreno is full of surprises and everything is always positive for the local government.
Now, I went to your presentation at Rosemont Academy,
Yeah.
and you did this thing on Babayan?
Babayin. Yes.
That's a
Philippine ancient script.
okay. Is that taught? Now that's taught throughout the
It's
Philippines.
well, the beautiful thing about it is there's a congressman right now in Congress. There's a congressman who's initiating the revival of the Philippine ancient script and the usage of the Philippine ancient script. So I think in certain universities it is being taught, and because of this Norfolk Sister City Association and because of what we did in Rosemont, I am personally encouraged to go back to Cagayan de Oro, go back to my school and include this in my curriculum.
Oh, because you seem so passionate about it. It seemed like that was
Yes.
part of your curricula already.
Yeah, no, but it should. I believe that every single Filipino should know out there that in the 14th century we already have our own script, even before we were influenced by the modern alphabet.
Yeah, because I know that folks have come here and they've talked to us about the Filipino alphabet.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
what's that called? It starts with an A.
Yeah.
I've seen that. I've seen people have tattoos and stuff like that, but I've
Yes.
never seen what you were teaching. Is that something that you learned? Is that one of the disciplines you learned while you were in school, in grad school or undergrad?
No. This is the beauty of becoming part of an association, actively participating in exchange programs. In fact, I travel a lot, but my experience in this trip as part of the adult exchange program is incomparable. And the love that I have for Baybayin is something that I have discovered very recently, and I would like to share that experience to other people. So, come and join.
I think kids love it too. They embrace it. It's got
exactly.
the way you. I wish we had one of the. I've got the symbols on a piece of paper, and I should have brought it with me because the audience is like, what are they talking about? But it makes perfect sense in the way you describe the shapes and the meanings.
Yes.
I think people they love that stuff, especially kids.
Yes, and it's very logical. If you look at it at first, the children were so amazed by me. They think that I'm like a fortune teller. Or
Right.
something.
That's what. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but when you look at it,
It makes sense.
Yes, it makes a lot of sense, and it doesn't take It doesn't take a doctorate, degreed person a doctorate degree holder to make sense out of it. Even a third grader, a first grader can see that all the curves. You can see how the lines are made. When they just flow, then that means you want smooth relationships. You
Gotcha.
want harmony. And when it's like it's shaped like an umbrella, what does an umbrella do? It shields, it protects you. So you are a protector. You like to protect people. You don't want to harm others. You don't want to hurt others. So something like that. So it's very beautiful.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Well, anything? How about on the last note? So you're heading back. Are you heading back tomorrow, or do you have stateside visits?
I am.
Okay. So you have a lot of work to do. I mean, you're.
Oh yes, definitely. The first thing that I'm gonna do is give an orientation to the parents when I come.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And do we think the husband? Now your husband, if the audience does not know, he is the president of your school.
That is right.
So he's been holding down the fort while you've been here for 2 weeks now.
Exactly. He's doing training. We're very big on English proficiency. I
Okay.
believe that being a good leader, being a great teacher, means you have to be a great communicator. You should
Yeah.
be able to express yourself. You should be able to engage the kids, the students, people you're talking to, the parents, and that means you have to have a great command of the English language.
Yeah, I don't patronize, but you're like even your command. I meet a lot of really educated Filipinos, and sometimes the language doesn't translate. They have like little syntax errors, but the way you speak, it's just
Wow, thank you, Joe.
Whoa,
Thank you, Joe.
Anyway, you got to see Ram. She's getting ready to go inside and do some karaoke. because she's a really fabulous
Yeah.
singer. Thanks for spending time with us, Ram.
Yeah, thank you, Joe.
Okay, bye-bye.
Pleasure.
Safe travels.
Okay.